Tonight, we are getting the facts on a location that is centered to the war with Iran. A holdup in the Strait of Hormuz is leading to a spike in gas prices as this war continues. Lou Jacobson with PolitiFact joining us live now. Lou, thanks for being here. Ship traffic is now grounded in that area. Can you start by just explaining what that means?
Yeah, so the Strait of Hormuz is the primary route for several Middle Eastern countries to ship crude oil as well as natural gas and other products to the rest of the world. It is quite vulnerable because there's only a 2-mile wide shipping lane in most directions. In recent years, about 1/5 of the world's crude oil supply has flowed through the strait. If you look at the numbers, the U.S. actually relies less on this oil than certain other countries do. Something like 84% of it goes to Asia, and that includes China, India, Japan, and South Korea. But the U.S. would still be affected because oil is priced globally. When the price rises for some countries, it rises essentially for basically all countries. Some of the oil and natural gas producers in the Middle East can use pipelines as an alternative to ship their oil, but this capacity falls well short of what tankers can ship through the strait.
Well, Lou, the U.S. does produce a lot of oil. Could more drilling here help to bring down those prices?
Yeah, so the drill baby drill call from politicians does have certain limits in this case. First of all, companies want to be certain that the prices will stay high enough to justify them spending more on new drilling. And it's not certain yet whether they will stay high enough and stay that way long enough to convince oil companies that this is a good bet for their company. And second, while the U.S. does produce a lot of crude oil, it can't refine all the oil it pumps out of the ground because of a technical mismatch with the types of refineries that are located here in the U.S. And changing the mix of refineries so they work with more U.S. produced crude oil would be expensive and take years to fix.
Another thing that people are talking about, Lou, there are reports of countries, including the U.S., opening up reserves. Could that make a difference in what's happening in the Strait?
Yeah, so they can help up to a point at least. The oil in the global market that's currently being blocked comes to about 20 million barrels a day. If the world stockpiles release 400 million barrels a day, which is what they say they plan to do, that would cover 20 days worth of oil that is currently blocked in the strait. But it's actually more complicated than that because it'll take time to carry out those sorts of releases. And it's unclear whether releasing that much oil would negatively impact the structural integrity of the physical stockpiles, which are frequently underground. Furthermore, even so, that gives you 20 days supply, and it's not clear that the threat to the straits will be over by then.
Lou Jacobson with PolitiFact. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.